Can you please introduce yourself?
All right, my name is Portia Mkize, and I am the Public Relations Officer for the Umlazi Tourism Office, known as the CTO, or rather the Community Tourism Organization. So our aim is to promote Umlazi as a popular tourist destination when people come to KZN, and also to lobby for small businesses to become formalized in the tourism sector.
Okay, so in a nutshell, can you take us through on how CTOs have enhanced the quality of service delivery in tourism and especially in township tourism within the past years?
Okay, in the past years, I think we have to look at firstly, how does tourism fit in within the township space? Like right now, the most popular things when people think of township tourism is to just go to the Shisanyamas. However, they forget how the townships were started, which is a history on its own. So we look at the museums that we currently have in townships like Umlazi, the townships like Lamontville, where we are today. We look at the features that Umlazi have, such as your amphitheaters. We have the Umlenge house, which is a political house, and if anybody knows what happened in that house, you will understand and want to come to Umlazi and want to find out why it is there. Then obviously then to entertain you, we have your nightlife, which is then your popular Shisanyama culture.
Okay, so how have you enhanced this service delivery?
All right, with the small businesses that are currently in the townships, most of them are informal. So it's a person who's opened just a business right now, and whatever money they get, they probably have or don't have a bank account, or they're not even registered with the CIPC. So one of our mandates is to make sure that those businesses are formalized. So we assist in information, access to information, access to funding that is currently being put out by the government, especially right now during the COVID period. So our office mainly just makes sure that people get the information that they need, they are formalized, they are marketed in the right way for the sectors that they're currently operating. And our sector is tourism, so we make sure that they are on our brochures as a tourism NPO, that they are recognized by other tourist organizations around KZN, to make sure that everybody knows that they do exist and that there are places such as Umlazi, such as Lamontville, such as Ngonyameni, where people can come and actually have a tourist experience, basically.
Okay, so how has the establishment of the CTOs contributed in improving local tourism businesses and the lives of people around?
I would say mainly it's recognition, because before people know that there is actually a business, there needs to be an organization that actually makes sure that those businesses are being put out there, so that people know that these kind of businesses exist. So I would say one of our main mandates that I would say we are proud of having done is making sure that we have a database of all the businesses that do exist within the township, so that when people look at the databases of where they want to be or where they want to invest, because apart from just tourism, Umlazi is also a very big investment area in terms of businesses popping up. It could be your industrial, it could be your tech, it could be your shopping malls, for instance. But then this also should be our draw card as the tourism sector as well. So I would say us making sure that our businesses are being marketed the right way in order for them to get the right recognition, so that they can also be able to be profitable or fit into the economy of the Umlazi tourism sector.
Okay, so in terms of improving people's lives, how does these businesses link into employment or skill developments and so on?
Absolutely, that's a very good question. So for us in tourism, I usually say tourism is one of the best ways of starting up a business. Firstly, you don't need capital to actually start a tourism company. It's all about what your area has and what you can sell. So you can start by being that lady that sells amagwinya on the side of the streets. When tourists come, they would want to taste or the taste of Umlazi. Could be inyama yangaphakathi, inyama yenhloko, for example. Everywhere where it's done, there's different ways that people prepare that type of meat. So it's little things like that that actually grow the economy within the tourism sector. So for the community of Umlazi, by having popular places like your Max's Lifestyle, your Eyadinis, and here in Lamontville we're having the Soshila Shisanyama. When people come to these places and when they see the little businesses along the roads, that's also a contributing factor onto the tourism of that particular township or of that particular area.
Okay. Now, can you refer to one or two beneficiaries that quickly comes to your mind that are now a successful story through the support of the CTO?
Ooh, there's quite a few. For example, Soshila right here, the owner started the place, but then he also needed assistance with getting the right or legal formalities of making this place formal. So assisting with the licensing, assisting with them being in the public eye as well, because they are on our brochures. And then we have the Ngonyameni, which is now going to be a theme park or an entertainment theme park for children, adults, the likes. So places like that have gotten that assistance from the CTO, because there are now draw cards for tourists to come into Umlazi and to come into Lamontville, which is what we do, promoting township tourism.
Okay. In overall, how do you expect CTOs to contribute to the revival of tourism, especially in the aftermath of COVID-19?
Absolutely. So with us as the tourism, or the CTO rather, I think we also need to understand that our mandate is not to give people funding. And I think that's where everybody gets it wrong. We don't give money. However, we assist you to get the money that you need. So it starts with your application form. What is it that you need? What is it that we can assist you with in terms of the formalities for you to get that application through, so that you can get the related funding or the grants that are being offered to you. So as the CTO, we have been relatively active during the COVID-19 times, making sure that all our members get the information, like your tax rebates, like your fundings that were being put out by the government, and the one that's being put out now by the eThekwini municipality. We just make sure that our members get the information and assist with the application process. But when we move out of the COVID-19, I am hoping that most of our members would have received the relative funding for them to continue with their businesses, because most of them right now are closing down, and these people are people that have actually gone out, renovated their places, bought cars for their the tour guides. Now all that is going back because they're not receiving funding. So right now we're concentrating on making sure that all those people receive the relative funding that they need in order for them to continue with their businesses when the COVID era is over.
Okay, lastly, you mentioned that you help businesses to be known.
Yes.
Like, we know that for Umlazi, when we talk about Umlazi, your Yadini, your Gamex pops.
Absolutely.
So what are the few things that a small upcoming tourism business should take or should have in mind? How do I do it to reach a level?
Absolutely, but I think people need to look at tourism for what it is first. So tourism is your businesses that will attract people from outside to come into your area. It is your tour guides, because then they are relevant into making sure that these people get to the places that they want to be. Then it is your attractions. Max's and Eyadini are just attractions, but then, as I was saying earlier, they're not the main tourist attractions that should be bringing people to Umlazi. So the tour guides need to work directly with the CTO, create tours within the area so that people come there. So I believe a perfect tour will be me driving through, knowing when I drive through Griffith Mxenge Highway, why is it named Griffith Mxenge? What are the attractions around that area? So which is your amphitheater, when was it built, and why was it built? Your mega city mall is an attraction, why is it there? So you need tours like that that will explain the area as you walk in. Why was Umlazi created? Why is it next to Lamontville? Why is there Sipingo next to it? Like all those questions being answered. And then thereafter you can go have your fun at your Yadini's or at your Max's Lifestyle. But then making sure that the tour guides and the people that create the experience, because tourism is a lifestyle and an experience. So without that experience, then we're defeating the whole purpose of having tourism in Umlazi. So by being the CTO, we are bringing all those people together and saying, hey, let's look at doing it this way. Do we need a bicycle tour in Umlazi? Do we need quiet bikes for the Ngonyameni? Like, what can we do to attract more people? We have the multi markets here in the Mosville. We've got the, what do you call this, the museum. People don't know that. So how are we doing it to make sure that people know that all those areas exist? And that's where we come in as the CTO. So once we bring all these people together, we have the tours, we have the marketing tools, of which we do get assistance from the eThekwini municipality with our brochures, with our online systems, as well as our social media. So it's all about us now coming together and saying, this is what I do as a business within tourism, and this is how I am going to contribute to make sure that everybody benefits within the community in terms of economically and also job creation, because we don't want now to bring like tour guides from outside bringing their own people to Umlazi. They must use our tour guides. They are students that are sitting at home that have tourism degrees that can't work, but then now this is an opportunity for us to come together and say, this is what we can do, we will train you, and this is the route you will take, and these are the people that will come in.
Okay, thank you so much.
Awesome.
How has Umlazi CTO, funded by eThekwini municipality, contributed to the development of your business?
Ngizothanda ukubonga kakhulu kuyona ku tourism department ukuthi isizile kakhulu sathola certificate. La ekhaya asisebenzi ngaphandle kwamaphepha, umasipala usincede kakhulu. La ekhaya sina yonke amaphepha wethu, yonke into sinayo la ekhaya, so asisebenzeli ngaphandle kwayo.
How is the response from the client since you run a township-based business?
Ama-customer ayasupporta kakhulu. Besi busy before i-COVID. Sasisebenza kahle kakhulu and berana kahle kakhulu ibhizinisi. Kwafika i-COVID. I-COVID isilimaze kakhulu. Abantu abafiki nje ngasiqaleni. Eqaleni bebefika kahle babeyazi ukuthi utshwala bukhona. So kwavalwa i-COVID asinabo utshwala, isilimaze kakhulu i-COVID lapho. And seka sahlala ezinye inyanga singavulanga sivaliwe, kuvaliwe la. Insuku esibabhizi ngazo la ekhaya uFriday, Saturday, Sunday. uFriday bakhulu babhizi kakhulu because kusuka kukhona labantu abavakashayo bafuna ukubona indawo, ama tourism kahle kahle. Bafuna ukubona indawo kanjalo bayafika la ekhaya bahlale until later, ngoba siseva ukudla siphinde siseva i-alcohol.